So we are here in Haiku. We're in day one of starting to build a Cobzebo on my friend Sarah's farm. And so it's going to be a 10-sided, so it's a decagon, 10-sided. So we have our uprights are every 40 inches, right? So, because we're using 40-inch pallets, so I have this all spaced out 40 inches apart. So from the center, in case you want to try this on your own, from the center out to here is pretty much exactly 70 inches, right? Mm-hmm. So 70 inches going around, right? And so then it'll be about 120 square feet on the inside. So which is a legal limit you can build on residential property without a permit. And so now we're going to go ahead and put our uprights. We're going to put our uprights into their holes with concrete, and then I'll put a 2x6 base plate on the bottom, and then we'll start putting our pallets in. We'll get the roof on. It'll be a living roof, so we'll have the roof on with a nice overhang before we do any of the cob stuff, because it rains all the time here in Haiku.
And the gorgeous bamboo in the background, right. And the ocean view. This is going to be my candle studio, my sacred VIP space. So I'm gonna make candles here and have beautiful crystals and shelves, and we'll have a living roof, so we'll have herbs and flowers and the vines dangling down in the windows, and for the creative art space. So it's the candle sacred meditation space. But up here is where my three sons will come in the shade with the bamboo and have their art projects, and this is kind of where they're going to be doing their homework.
And they're going to help cob too, right?
Yeah, they're going to help all the cob for fall break, and this is just the shadiest spot on the property. And so this is probably going to be the koi pond area, the meditation spot. This is my special spot. The Ohana special spot.
Nice.
Yes, for sure.
You're
I'm
happy
excited.
place.
Thank you so much, Megs, for making all our cob dreams come true.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it.
Love it too. All right, cool. And we're working on building this structure here. It's going to be a 10-sided structure. It's going to be like a gazebo kind of thing, so we're calling it a Cobzebo. So it's one of the classic palatable cobbins. So basically, it's about 120 square feet, and it's so we have our 10 uprights that are spread out every 40 inches, right? And those are in the ground 2 feet. And then we use these pallets. You have to prep the pallets, to fill in these gaps. And we're not going to be putting anything inside these pallets or anything. If it was a livable structure, we might put some kind of foam or cardboard or straw or wool or clothes or some kind of insulation material in here. But we're just leaving the insides vacant. And so we kind of prepped all the pallets. And so we got this cross beam up on top. And so now we're ready to start doing the roof of the cobbin. So you see what we've done so far is I found the exact center point of everything, put this 2x12 going across as a plank, and then raised it up about 2 feet high. And this is about the slope that I want to have it. And I just went ahead and you see how I did it here. I just put it on a bucket. And then I made the center ring hub. And so this is the hub here that I made. So it's 10 sides, a decagon, and so the distance between the outside edges here is 6 inches, and then it has an 18-degree angle on it, right? So I cut it on a chop saw at 18 degrees, and so that's pretty much you know, what the dimensions are. And then I'll be putting a kind of a glass, kind of a pyramid plexiglass covering over this. Okay, and then I added these Simpson tie braces here, and then I'll be putting the 2x6 joists in this. And so then I put this in the center, and so I And you were asking about the paint. So since this wood is really smooth and this wood here is smooth, I got some paint, actually extra paint from the ceiling, and I added some sand to it, and I painted over it so it's gritty, so it's like rough. You know, it's coarse, because it won't stick to it as well if it's like really smooth. But we don't have to do that with this, because this wood is pretty rough. So to make the cob stick clay, this is the clay slip. So this is like the glue that we use for the cob to stick to the wood. So we first put the glue on the wood, and so now the cob will see the clay that's on the wall. We say, oh, I want to stick to you, right? And so okay, so you can do that. You can put this. You can dip that. It's a sponge. You can dip the sponge in the slip, and then you can put the slip right here, and you can cover the wood with the clay.
Wow.
Uh-huh. So we just take this and we just put this on about a ½ inch or so, or maybe 3/4 of an inch, right? And so when you get it on there, you're not really worried about trying to get it on there smooth. It can go on there rough. You know, you see how it's not like super smooth. But then once you have a certain amount on, then you can dip your hands in some water. Right? You can dip your hands in water, and then you can smooth that out. Right? Like that. And then after the whole thing's done, then I have a trowel over here. I can take a trowel.
A trowel?
And just take it and just smooth out the whole thing. You know, so like that's what I do yesterday, smooth this out. Right?
No!
Yes.
Yes. Ah!
And the great thing about it, if you get any clay in your clothes, it's really easy to wash off. That's one of the really great things. And up on your hands, it's really easy to wash off your hands.
Just watch out.
So we're working with the local Ina. We got the earth that's right from here. So this is the earth we're working with. And so we add water to it. You can see how nice this clay is here. This is like really, really nice clay. Anybody who says that there's no good clay on Maui doesn't know what they're talking about. So, so we're gonna add, we're doing about 60% sand to 40% clay. That's our ratio here. Making it a little sticky so it sticks easily to the wood. And then the straw we're using is the straw from the wattles. There's a whole bunch of these straw wattles down the high now that we have easy access to. So, yeah, so I'll kind of show you, you know, once we get our cob mixed, this is about how the consistency is here. So it's really, really nice. So right now, Makani's working in here, sculpting some trees on the inside. Right, so we're gonna have trees kind of in these long branches kind of going all the way around. We'll have trees all around. Makani, is there anything to say?
Good.
And here's lovely Sarah here. And so Sarah is, this is actually going to be Sarah's kind of workspace, and she makes candle space. Yeah. So this was Sarah's idea, her vision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you started this.
So this is Sara and Makani here, the owners of this beautiful farm here in lovely Haiku, and we're cobbing this Cobzebo, and this is a special day, right, Sarah?
Yes, it's our anniversary.
Nice, and you're celebrating it with cobbing.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes, we eloped on the side of the road in Ulupalakua, October 15th, 2017.
Nice.
7 years is officially cob, right? That's what you're...
Is it what?
Uh-huh.
Anniversary cob.
That's right. That's right. And so we're doing this to celebrate.
Every year.
Okay, so we're working on this living roof here for our cabin. So I'll explain kind of where we're at right now. So this is going to be a living roof, right? So we're going to be putting a membrane over this 3/4 inch plywood. So the first thing what we did is we want to create drainage, right? So we want all the water to be directed, into our drainage spout. So you can see here. So I got 2-inch, drill bit and made these holes here, and then got this 3/4 inch plywood and made a slope, going from about a foot down to nothing, and then to cut this here at an angle, And so the idea behind this, and then we'll be putting our membrane then on top of this. So the idea behind this is so then hit this ramp and then just go straight down to where our drainage hole is right there, right? And so we'll go ahead and screw these in. So this has been drying in the sun for a couple weeks. It has been raining a lot, but actually it stayed dry. It's going to have a living roof, so we have a membrane, a self-tacking roofing membrane, and we'll be putting like 4 inches of earth on the roof. So anyhow, so I'm about to do a lime plaster on this Cobzebo. And so the lime plaster will help to smooth it out and give it a nice color and protect it from the water. And it also helps to, keep termites out and everything, and just overall strengthens the structure. And, and lime is actually just made out of seashells. It's basically coral and shell that's been heated up. And when you add water to it, it kind of becomes a shell again. So, so this is the, this here is the lime here. And, I wear gloves just because it kind of dries out your hands if you don't have gloves on. And one of the tools I use actually is like a little plastic lid. So I get a plastic lid and I cut the outside rim off of it. So it's a nice smooth circle like so. And this is what I use. This is what I use as a trowel to kind of trowel it in and to smooth it out and everything. Because for the curvy areas, I can't really use a metal trowel. I can use a metal trowel for the bottom areas. But so the first thing I do is I get some limey water. This is just water that has some lime in it, and I put that on the cob. And so now you can just kind of start putting the lime on the wall. And it's going to go on about a ½ inch or so. Alright. So you can go like that, and then you can also then smooth it out with your hand. And if you don't have a trowel, you can also just use your hands too. You can use your hands and press it on. And then you can dip your hands in water, kind of smooth that out. Once that sets up, then you can use your little, fancy yogurt lid here to kind of press that in, smooth it out. All right. And then this part, the top part where you can't use a trowel, I'll just use my hands for that. And so we'll go ahead and plaster this whole thing, and then I'll probably do a lime wash then over that with some more oxide, some color. I might use some of the clay right from the land, to give us kind of a natural clay color. We are back here in Haiku working on the Cobzebo. We're doing a lime wash on the walls. So we've already done a lime plaster, and now we're doing a lime wash. So we're doing, so lime wash is basically like a lime paint. So this is the lime we're using. So again, lime is just shells, a coral shell that's been heated up, all the water's been taken out and turned into a powder, and then when we add water to it, it rehydrates it and becomes a shell again. So then you add water to it. So it's about, I'd say about half water, half lime powder. And then I like to use a mixer when mixing it up. And you can just mix it up. And if you want just white, some people just love white walls. Some people just love white walls. And I'm not really into white walls. I like color. So you can add an oxide. This is actually from American Clay. This is called Cedar Pack, or Park rather, Cedar Park. So I'm just adding some oxide into the lime. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of linseed oil also, just a few drops, not a lot, maybe about that much or so. Let's say maybe 4 tablespoons or something like that. And then let's go ahead and mix this up. The first thing you want to do is you want to get the cob plaster just a tiny bit wet, just a little bit wet. Just kind of wet it down just to kind of just mist it. And then you can just take your lime and you just brush it right on there. And you can go pretty thick, pretty liberally. You can even go, if you want, you can even go sideways, up and down, and then up and down again. It's kind of like almost 3 coats in one. Alright, and so we'll just, and this is it's super satisfying to do. It just feels really nice. It's nice and creamy. And then you can see the consistency. I would say it's pretty darn close to regular latex paint consistency. That's about how it is. Right? And so we'll just go ahead and paint this on. So we're going to go ahead and do a lime wash on this whole inside also. Right? And so we are now at the completed Cobzebo here. And we've been working on this for the last couple months, kind of in between projects that we've been doing in Lahaina and other things. And so I'm very happy to present to you the new and completed Cobzebo. Haiku has now become the Cobzebo capital of the planet. And so we put some nice coloring on it. Jen's been here helping out and everything. And so we got we did actually do the lime wash to smooth it all out, and then we put a nice coating over it to give it a nice color and everything. And we still need to we have the earth on the roof up there. You can see we put a few inches of earth on the roof, and we still need to plant things. We'll probably do some basil or something like that. The roof might be look something like this. This is a little roof I did over at Ahimsa up the road, kind of a raised planter box kind of thing. And so yeah, so you can come in here. See, we have a nice ladder going up to the roof, and we put little candles on each one of these nooks. And so the other night we lit these up and it looked really beautiful. And we have little mirrors on each one of the nooks also. And it's neat because the mirrors reflect each other. So this mirror reflects that mirror, this one reflects that one. So it's kind of a play of reflections. And so the plan is to have, this is going to be Sarah's workspace. Sarah's going to be doing, making her candles and other art projects, and her kids will use the space to do their homework, and they might have their meals in here and everything. But this is a great design because you could also imagine, screens in each one of these, and this could be a nice living space, right? And so, yeah. And then we have a nice little plexiglass up here and the ceiling, the skylight. Yeah.
So, Cobb on Maui.
Cobb
Check
on
him
Maui.
out. CobbonMaui.com.
Yeah.
And Migs, what's your last name, sir?
Sir Kabbalat. I'm Sir Kabbalat.
His
Right
last
on.
name is a lot.
Yeah. Kabbalat. Yeah.
And Jen, you've been helping out on Cobb buildings for how long for you?
Well, I've been helping him out for the last, month and a half?
Yeah, month and a half.
or so.
Uh-huh.
Right on.
Yeah, that's her dream to build a Cobb home of her own. one
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, like everybody should.
Cobb the world.
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful, sacred space,
Yeah.
beautiful design,
Thank you.
and you guys should be congratulated.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sure Sara and Makani and their 3 kids are going to have a lot of fun in this space. Aloha.
Aloha. Great structure. A lot of mindfulness went into the design. A lot of organic shapes, beautiful contrast of colors, the cob material. It's really lovely. It feels like a sacred ceremonial space. So, very nice work. And a nice example of the cob building design strategy.